Okay, here we go. Amar Abaye. Nun Aleph Amid Beis. We are 5 lines before the 2 dots. We just finished this incredible Gemara of the 1.2 million Yidden sitting on the double benches by Alexandria, and with the 71 catadras of gold. Abaye ended off. Amar Abaye v'kulu katinu. Excuse me. V'kulu katalinu Alexandra's muktan. Alexandra's muktan killed all the my time Yanshu. What was the reason that they were punished? Which just parenthetically is a funny thing. We're Yidden. We don't believe that we know why someone got punished or not. It's just interesting zach. But either way, says the Gemara, you know why? Mishum da'avriya haikra. They were over on the following pasuk. Oh, we found the box.
But it wasn't like this was it wasn't like this was a disease or something like that, like a natural phenomenon.
You're saying COVID and
Even worse.
No, I'm saying we must know a reason, something like
I don't know. When we don't start with all the people that got it. Why October?
Alexander Muslim,
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. October 7th. Why did it happen? I don't know. Leave it to Hashem. It's just so. Chayra, the answer is Gemaras are allowed to say this, but still, I was just pointing out the oddity of Tov Shagi. That usually we don't go down this rat hole. Says the Gemara, you know why? Misham Davri Aykrol Sipin Lashav Derech Hazaoid Ve'enu Hadar Asu, and they returned to Egypt. When the camera's off, I'll share a line about going through Egypt that someone shared with me yesterday. Says the Gemara. Yeah, a little teaser for that. When he came, he found the following pasuk. That is a pasuk in Devarim. It's actually very interesting. Just the Gemara, Yisa Hashem Elecha, excuse me, Goy Mirachik. That a nation's going to lift up from afar, Miksei Aretz, Kashiyira, Gesher. So what does this mean? Amar Michtia Ugavra, Bay Lemesi Safinta Basar Yami. This guy, he wanted to make a 10-day voyage by boat. Dali Zika, the wind lifted him up. Va'asi Safinta B'chamshi Yami. And it only took him 5 days. Nafal Alayu V'katzlenu. He jumped upon them and he killed them. This was the end, unfortunately, of quite the massacre. Read that one more time.
Yeah.
He also, when he came, they were reading in Psukim. This is another thing that we find in Gemaras, that we find this in Gemaras in Gittin by the Chorban Beis Hamikdash. They asked the child, "What pasuk are you reading?" And it's a way that the Psukim foretell what's going on. Because that Hashem is going to lift up a nation from Anfar. Says the Gemara. It's already died out. I forgot that much color can get out that.
Trying to get it to man.
Yisa Hashem elecha goy mirachik. Omar. This guy, this Alexander Muktam wanted to travel. He wanted to take a 10-day journey. And this is a way that almost Hashem is showing that this was the right thing to do. Dali, I'm sorry. Sfinta is a boat. Yes, Sfina is a boat. Sfinta is a boat. Dali Zika, the wind lifted him up. Va'asi Safinta b'chamisha yami, and he traveled in 5 days. Nafal alayo, he felled upon them, the katzlinu, and that was their glory.
I guess that Hashem wanted to.
Correct. If you look at Rashi on the second wide line, Hu Gavra Havu, Alav Nemar Mikra Zel, and him who said this pasuk, Gzeiras Melechi Lachriva, and it was the Gzeira of the king, meaning Gzeira of Kadosh Baruch Hu, to destroy. B'moitza Yom Tif. So we said in the Mishnah, let's go back to the Mishnah, flip back for a quick moment. The second line of the Mishnah. What do? They went to that as Nashim. Umisaknin Sham, and they fixed over there a tikkun gadol. Says the Gemara, my tikkun gadol, Rav Elazar, ka'isa sheshaninu, like that which we learned. Chalaka haisa b'rishaina. Originally, the Ezras Nashim was smooth. Chalaka, it was smooth. What was smooth? Rashi says the walls. There was nothing protruding from the walls. Vikifua gizutra, and they put into the walls these pegs around, and upon these pegs, viskinu, they what word? Yeah, they were mitakin. They fixed. They built. Yeah. Shiunashim yoishvis lamal. This was the first. Exactly. Yeah. So this is where we have to remember the Ezras Nashim wasn't an area for women only. Ezras Nashim was just what the area was called, and within that they put pegs in the walls, and upon them, that's where the women were lamala va'anoshim lamata, and the men were below. Actually, fascinating. I don't remember which magazine someone showed this to me, and I don't know if it's recent because usually I read magazines like 6 months after they come out. I'm talking about like Ami Mishpacha, one of them. They were writing about, I think it was which shul they found, that the women's section was a separate building. Fascinating. It's a completely separate building with a window in between the two. The reason why it's well,
You would see the Makar, the men hanging out in the women's section.
yeah.
I mean, because they,
No, the woman or the women's section? Oh, you mean the name? Yeah. Okay. Tana Rabbanan says the Gemara.
I think why they created this thing, because people were starting.
You better believe it. Tana Rabbanan. Parishaina hayanashim mimifnim. And here it is, by the way, we all just said. Barishaina originally. Are you Nashim Mibifnim? The women were on the inside, and as is Nashim. And the men, Vanashim Mibachot, and the men were on the outside. And what would happen? And it brought levity. His kino, they enacted. Shunashim Yeshus Mibachot, Vanashim Mibifnim. And it still didn't work out well. So finally, the women were on top, the men were on the bottom, which this shows us. Can you imagine? You're in the base of Mikdash. Like, seriously, control yourself.
When I show up, I'm like, if this is what happened all the way back,
Yeah.
we're okay.
There you go. That's number one. It shows us. Number two, it shows us Rabbi Reisman, I think, says over from Rav Pam. A very strong line. And he said, it's recorded. It's one of these recorded things that he said over. He said, he was talking about people that unfortunately talk during davening. And he said, don't worry. Not don't worry, but unfortunately, when the Beis HaMikdash comes, they're also going to be talking during the Avodah. Don't think it's just because, it's our shuls. He says, no. When the Beis HaMikdash comes, it's going to be the same problem. And this is l'chayr the makar. You see, unfortunately, people that don't work on themselves and people that have issues, they have issues even in the Beis HaMikdash. Hechi avid, hachi, says the Gemara. How were they allowed to do this? What is the question? It sounds like
They allowed to add on to the base.
How are they to add to the base? I think the Shvak says in the pasuk in Divrei Hayom, Hakol b'chsav miyad Hashem alai hiskil. Everything comes from God. It's Hashem's house. You know, just stop adding on. Because the men and women are whatever, we're going to make it in the second floor. How are you allowed to do that? Amarav, says Rav, Kara ashkachu avidarish. They found a pasuk and they darshaned it. They found a pasuk that it's appropriate to separate the men from the woman. V'safta haaretz mishpachais levad mishpachas beis David levad u'neshayim levad. This is all the same pasuk, and so we see from this pasuk that what we see a makar to separate things up. So, which is an interesting teretz, because what was the kasha? How are they allowed to add on to the Beis HaMikdash? Teretz is the darshin. No, not Mashiach. This is talking back then.
Well, I thought it was saying in the future is going to be we're going to separate.
No. But Lemaisa, they utilize this in the Beis HaMikdash already. Correct. So, just interesting that and that's we just said is what we're speaking out, is we would have thought that we need a makar that you actually could change the base of English. No, it's a makar, a nevuah of Zechariah and Avi foretelling that we need to have separation. So that must be that it's the right thing, even to create the separation back in the Beis Hamikdash. Mayurtik. Amru, they responded, and this is all part of the makar.
Who said that they added? Maybe it's just they moved around inside the location. Who said
So that's the 3 steps. Good. No, so that's the 3 steps. The Gemara said first they put the man on one side, then they built the woman on top. That was the first shtickle that they first the halakha. So the walls are smooth. They put in these pegs and they built the woman on top. Says the Gemara, Amru v'lo dvarim kal v'chaymer. It's a kal v'chaymer. Ma la'asid lavai. Listen to this one. La'asid lavai she'oiskin behespid. The pasuk that we just quoted is talking about the Mashiach ben Yosef. This is incredible Rashi. Everyone, we have to read the top Rashi together. Everyone together. Top Rashi. Sof Ta'aretz. B'nevuah Zechariah. Okay. Umisnave, and he's prophesying la'asid. Sheyispedu al Mashiach ben Yosef. Mashiach ben Yosef is going to say a hesped. What's he going to say a hesped on? Shenerag b'molchama is goygu magoig. Can you imagine? Mashiach comes. Many Yidden were killed in Goygu Magoig. Mashiach himself is going to be the one giving the hesped. By the way, which just shows you, by the way, Mashiach is talking. Can you imagine? Mashiach is talking. And yet, uksiv mishpachos b'yistav levad and l'sheim levad. That what? Afilu b'shas atzar. It's a hesped. Now I'm going to add on, and I'm adding on to the Gemara. Mashiach is the guy talking. You know, it gives me a little chizik. I don't feel bad. I'm the one talking, and people are maching haimish. Over here, we're worried Mashiach is talking, and we're worried that the men and women are going to be, doing their thing. And the pasuk says, make a separation. So Amru v'alo dvarim kal v'chaymer u'ma lasid lovely. Shaiskim behesped. And the Yitzhahara shaylit bahem. And there's also no Yitzhahara, by the way, which is a real hard thing to understand.
Because then it would rubberizing the thing.
Yeah.
It won't, because whatever you have.
But no, after. In Yitzhara, there's no Yitzhara. And still, Amrater Nashvav Nashvad. Achshisha Suga Besimcha. Yitzhara Shalabem Lachas Kama Kama. So what's Pshat? Tachlis. There's no Yitzhara. What's Pshat? We have to create a separation. So I didn't see this anywhere.
In the future, why
the Gemara itself was Pshat. So I think Pshat is it's a var from Revelio Lapian. I think that it says that Kairach Ubanav Afilu B'Tahaim, they're still gonna stick in their rishos. They're not gonna really do tshuva. And everyone asks, I understand, you're sitting there about to fall into the great abyss. Hello, no atheist in a foxhole. What happens? Come on. So Zok Revelio Lapian, that when you build a midah deeply inside of you, even literally at gunshot, you can't change. There's kama rayas that you cite. So here we see over here that if someone is unfortunately a mensch, then what does he do? There are girls, he hangs out with them. So even without the enticement of the Yitzhara, that's just what he's going to do. It's I think a fascinating vart that however you want to say pshat in this Gemara, everyone's welcome to say pshat. Look it up. I didn't look up anything, but I think you see something very chashav. This is really what Ray Reisman was saying. There's no Yitzhara. No, but you became a mensch that you don't care about davening. You don't care about the Avaita. So when the Avaita is happening, you're doing your own thing, even without the Yitzhara. Absolutely incredible.
But there's I forgot who it was that just tried to take away the Tivus.
Yeah. And they stopped.
And killed the world.
And they stopped. Correct. They stopped procreating. The pickens stopped procreating. So what is it? So that's the next step.
But the Mashiach, it's still going to be that.
So you have to figure out what that means in a chanami. So you have to reconcile it in a chanami. It's interesting part.
Very good point.
Interesting part. I mean, because it still has to be very good. So even though there's no Yitzhara, says the Gemara, what's this hesped? We all know, we don't all know. Some people are fascinated and love to learn about these things and read up about these things. Kol hakavod. Other people just say, I'll wait till it happens and I'll figure it out then. Kol hakavod. Either way, says the Gemara, this is a Gemara, that Mashiach ben Yosef is going to be killed by Mashiach ben David. So the hesped is on Mashiach ben Yosef. B'chad Amar. Al Yitzhara Shemerek. It's a hesped on the Yitzhara. So Bish of the man of Shimon Yosef Shenarag.
But people are still gonna be doing Averis because it's the
What do you mean?
it's the hesped of the Yitzhahara. So
It's right there. Bish of the man of Shimon Yosef Shenarag. Hainu Dirse Vibitu Elias Asher Dikaru. Visaftu Love Kimisman Allah Yachid. Let's read the pasuk. It's a pasuk in Zechariah, not the easiest of psukim. But the pasuk says, Vibitu Eli, and they're going to look to me, Eis Asher Dakaru, the one that they stabbed, Visaftu Alav, and they're going to give a hesped upon him, Kimispaid, like the hesped, ala yachid, on a singular person. So says the Gemara, if it's a hesped on Mashiach ben Yosef, the pasuk makes sense. Look at the contrast. Elaman da'amar al yitzahar shenegrag, hayespeda, ba'ilam evad, simcha ba'ilam evad. I don't understand. You're saying a hesped, oi, it's so sad. It's so sad. The Yisara was killed. Says the Gemara, Amai Bachu. Okay, maybe.
It's like those tzaddikim who cry once they die.
Yeah.
It's like, that's it.
Yeah, it's in the studies anymore. El Mandar Bar Yisar Shenega, I speak the Bailam Evad, Simcha Bailam Evad. Amai Bachu, why are they crying? Says the Gemara, Kedidara Sheb Yehuda, Lasi Lavai, and this might be shot like everyone was just saying. Maybe HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yitzhara, Hashem's going to bring out the Yitzhara. V'shachatu b'fnei tzadikim, and he's going to shecht him in front of the righteous. Ubifnei arishayim. V'tzadikim, it's nidma lahem kehar gavaya. To the tzadikim, it's going to seem like a tremendous mountain. Rishayim nidda lahem kechota sayra. The Rishayim are going to realize, those taivas, it was nothing. It was such stuyot. Halalu baichin. V'halalu baichin. And they're both crying. In this Gemara, there's so much terror in this Gemara. Tzadikim baichin v'imrim, they're saying, wow, it's almost like tears of joy. Hey, how is it shaykh? The Yitzhara was so incredible. How is it shaykh to conquer, to overcome such a mountain? Because how could have been? What a wasted opportunity. And Hashem himself is going to be in wonderment. Shenemar. So says the Holy Lord. It's going to be a wonder in my eyes. The remnants of the people Azab Yamahim those days. Hashem himself was also going to be in wonderment of the matziv over there. Incredible Gemara, obviously a lot to be said about it. Let's stop over here. Let's continue. Last night was a Mayr Tika Chazara. Let's continue Shabbos from the Mishnah till Amar Rav Asi. From the Mishnah till Amar Rav Asi.
He's the Rav didn't have enough speaking. It's 2 punches.